Hello, welcome back to another video. My name is Fivos, and today I'm going to talk about this commercial that I shot as a DP. This video will focus on some of the lighting and camera gear I used to shoot it. If you are interested though in a director's POV, check out the description and watch Sava's video about it. He goes through all the decisions he made and breaks down his approach as a director. Okay, let's go. For this commercial, we planned it to shoot chronologically, following the continuity of the script. The character's day begins early in the morning and finishes late at night. This gave me some opportunity to either maintain or intentionally break the lighting continuity between the scenes. My camera gear was a red Komodo, paired with a set of Dizio film lenses ranging from 12 to 75mm. Our first scene takes place in the character's office. Fun fact, this wasn't actually an office. It was a lounge area inside a hotel that we scouted earlier in the week. We moved some furniture around and dressed it to make it look like it was an office, basically. I specifically chose this location because of the massive glass window, which was going to act as my key light. As you can see from these backstage photos, we didn't use much lighting gear. We only used like a 600 to boost the ambient lighting coming from the window. And then we added some practicals on the desk, like lamps to create contrast and warmer colors. The haze, by the way, which I'll most likely never use again, was the biggest problem because using haze in a large space, it disappears very fast, so you have to keep track of it. For these two shots, I used a 35mm for the establishing shot and a 50mm for the close-ups later on. I added a negative fill as well as a butterfly on the opposite side of the character to increase the contrast. Since this was a very large space, light was bouncing everywhere. You can also see some light coming from this side. This was a 300C, which we added later to give the texture on the wall a slight boost. Our second scene was the gym. Because time is the enemy on almost every shoot, I chose to use the large windows as my key lights. Here, the character is exercising on a bicycle, while positioned in front of the window. The rim light you see on the back of her head and the neck is coming from the 300C again, which you can also see in the frame. Normally, I wouldn't want such large light source appearing in the shot, but since this was a very quick scene and the gym already had ceiling spotlights that I couldn't turn off, I decided to leave them in the frame. Now that I'm revisiting this shoot, I've noticed that I only used a couple of lights on each scene. I find that interesting because it shows that when you have a good script and a strong acting and effective pacing, you don't need a lot of lighting to make a scene work. Production design and cinematography work extremely well together. Here in the supermarket, I used an F22C on a boom stand positioned into the next aisle. It helped lift some of the shadows on the character. For the background light, we used an aperture infinibar set to a green color, as you can see. But the real star of the scene was the camera rig my gaffer built and attached it on the shopping cart. This gave an interesting angle with the lines from the tops of the shelves leading directly towards the character. Cinematography is also about how you frame your shot and give audiences something to follow. But my favorite shot in the entire commercial was also the one that took the longest to set up, the parking lot scene. We specifically scouted this location for the blue hour because I wanted the frame to feel blue and reflect the character's anxiety in a way. We also wet the pavement to make everything more dramatic and contrasty. You've probably seen this technique used a lot in films. Wetting the ground creates reflections and adds another layer of depth and dimension to your scene. Let me know what you would like me to break down more if you've seen a scene that needs more breakdown. I also had more videos coming about other commercials we've shot in this year. So subscribe to this channel, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss them. I would really appreciate it. Again, you can watch the director's POV in another link I have in the description. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.